and welcome to Exploring with the Estuarium. My name is Ariel and I will be your educator for today. Today we're going to learn all about discovering estuaries and what an estuary is. So to follow along with today's lesson, you'll need a couple things. First, you'll need the 3 copies of our printout sheets. So one of the United States, one of Washington State, and then one of the Puget Sound. And you'll also need a couple utensils, something to write with and something to erase with.
During the Discovering Estuaries program, you will learn to identify estuaries, relate to the Puget Sound ecosystem, and learn how important estuaries are locally and globally. Some of the questions you'll be able to answer are: what is an estuary? What kind of estuary is the Puget Sound? How was the Puget Sound formed? Where are estuaries located? And why are estuaries important? What is an estuary? An estuary is a body of water where rivers or streams meets the sea or ocean. Estuaries are typically partially enclosed by land or another barrier while remaining open to the ocean. They can be identified by the fresh water from rivers and streams flowing into the salt water from the sea, creating a mixture of freshwater and saltwater, also known as brackish or estuarine waters. Estuaries have tide cycles, concentrated areas of sediment and organic material, especially at the mouths of freshwater streams and rivers, have a diluted salinity, or a lower salt content, than the open ocean. However, not all estuaries contain brackish waters. There are small numbers of freshwater estuaries. These estuaries happen where massive freshwater systems, such as the Great Lakes, are diluted by rivers or stream waters draining from adjacent lands. Estuaries are typically classified by their existing geology, or how they were formed. The 5 major types of estuaries classified by their geology are coastal plain, bar-built, deltas, tectonic, and fjords. Most estuaries are less than 10,000 years old. Coastal plain estuaries are formed when rising sea levels flood existing river valleys. Bar-built estuaries are characterized by barrier beaches or islands that form parallel to the coastline and separate the estuaries from the ocean. A delta occurs when sediment accumulates more rapidly than ocean currents can carry them away, and is characterized by large, flat, fan-shaped deposits of sediment at the mouth of the river. Tectonic estuaries form when the Earth's tectonic plates run into or fold up underneath each other and create depressions. Lastly, fjords were created by advancing glaciers that formed steep-walled river valleys, which later became flooded with seawater as the glaciers retreated. Alright, now let's look at the map of Washington State and review some environmental and societal identifiers of our area. Identify and label bodies of water, such as the Puget Sound, Strait of Juan de Fuca, Strait of Georgia, Pacific Ocean, and the Salish Sea. Draw and label major mountain ranges like the Olympics, Cascades, and Mount Rainier. Draw arrows indicating the river flow from those mountain ranges. Point out the city of Olympia. Color in a few pocket estuaries, such as Bud Inlet and Eld Inlet. Identify any other important landmarks of our area. Great! Now let's take a closer look to the Puget Sound. Our estuary is called Puget Sound. The Puget Sound was formed by traveling glaciers about 10,000 years ago. As the glacier advanced, it carved a deep channel in the earth. When the glacier retreated, seawater flooded the deeply incised valley, creating the Puget Sound. If the Puget Sound was formed by glaciers, what kind of estuary is the Puget Sound? A fjord. Fjord estuaries are U-shaped with steep sides, rocky and solid floors, and very deep. Much of the Puget Sound is very deep. The deepest spot is almost 950 feet deep off the point of Jefferson. Puget Sound is the largest estuary in the U.S. by volume of water, and the second largest by shoreline, the largest being Chesapeake Bay. Olympia is located near several partially enclosed bay inlets, also known as pocket estuaries, which contribute to the Puget Sound estuary ecosystem. Budd Inlet, Eld Inlet, Henderson Inlet, and the Estuary Reach are examples of pocket estuaries. Salish Sea is the traditional name for the inland waters of Canada and Washington state, stretching from Puget Sound, Washington to Johnstone Strait, Canada, that was used by the First Nation peoples who historically and presently inhabit the area. Most of the population in Thurston County lives on or near an estuary ecosystem and benefits from the estuary-related activities. Our estuary provides employment for a large portion of our local citizenship through fisheries, resource management, civic positions, and more. Our estuary is also used for swimming, boating, fishing, beachcombing, and many other recreational activities. Lastly, our Puget Sound estuary ecosystem is so scientifically valuable that it is being studied by hundreds of scientists from around the world. Why are estuaries important? Not only do estuaries play an important role in transportation, fishing, and tourism, estuaries are some of the most biologically productive ecosystems in the world. Estuaries are ideal habitats for thousands of different plants and animals. They contain abundance of food sources, including nutrients in the sediment and water column. Estuaries also produce smaller, slower waves and provide excellent feeding opportunities, which together create ideal places for migratory birds to rest and replenish their energy. Their calmer underwater currents provide safer conditions for nurseries and allow young animals to develop with less risk. Mud, organic sediment, and high amounts of vegetation provide cover against predation. The variations in salinity in an estuary allow some animals, like salmon, adjust between salt and freshwater habitats. Lastly, over 75% of all fish and shellfish harvested for food in the U.S. uses estuaries for breeding and nurseries. Estuaries are important natural places. They help to maintain healthy ocean environments by filtering out sediments and pollutants from the rivers and streams before they flow into the oceans, providing cleaner waters for marine life. You are connected to an estuary. Your watershed eventually drains into an estuary, so what you and your family's actions on land and how you take care of your water affects your estuary. The water that rains on your yard or goes down the drain at your house ends up in the estuary. If you visit a beach on Puget Sound, your actions can affect the estuary as well. Things like littering, leaving rocks overturned, and spilling oil from your boat can be harmful to estuary plants and animals. Whether you are right in the middle of an estuary or miles up a river, your actions make a difference. Now let's do a hands-on activity to see how much you've actually learned. We're going to learn about the estuaries that line the shoreline of the United States, the major rivers that flow through, and the oceans that surround us. So first thing, we have to look for geological features on the map to help us locate these estuaries. Remember, estuaries are where fresh water from rivers and streams flow into saltwater bodies like the ocean. Take this time now to star all of the saltwater bodies like the ocean and trace the lines on the map that are our major rivers. And then once those two places meet, you will circle the estuary. I will give you about a minute to complete this task. Great, your map should look a little bit like this. Now that you've found the rivers and the estuaries, we need to fill in our table. So write down the name of the major rivers flowing into these estuaries. And then after that, name the body of water that the estuary flows into, like the Pacific Ocean, Gulf of Mexico, or Atlantic Ocean. On which coast is the largest estuary in the United States by volume of water located? Correct. West Coast. It's the Puget Sound. What are the two most important identifying features of an estuary? 1. They have both fresh water and salt water. And 2, they have a tide cycle. Why are estuaries important to migratory birds? Well, the birds need a place to rest on their travels and a place to feed and replenish their energy. I'm going to leave you with one last question. How are all the ways humans use estuaries? And how do you personally benefit from your local estuary system?
And that's it for today's lesson about discovering estuaries. Thank you for joining Exploring with the Estuarium, and if you liked our video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to continue getting our videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on Facebook at Puget Sound Estuarium. Thanks!